life.com.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center and the heart of the resistance. Rallying patriots worldwide. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Best part of the song right here. Stand up and be counted. Stand up and be counted for what you are about to receive. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this 15th day of December, 2013. Oh, yes, the year is very old, has a big, long, white beard, as we prepare to go out with the old, in with the new 2014, ladies and gentlemen. And as Matt Drudge said about a year ago on his Twitter feed, 2014 is everything. And I already knew that and had thought about that, but in the last year, I think about that tweet almost every day because I realized that 2014, to a great extent, will probably be the most important year in our lifetimes. Not just for this country, but every other nation. All of the dots are connecting. Everything is intersecting in 2014. That doesn't mean things won't be a lot crazier, for better and worse, after that. But the set of things, the way it's going to go, so much of it is 2014. Liken it like the Bible does to bringing up a child and then releasing them into the world, like drawing an arrow back on your bow and then releasing. And then once you've released, it's out of your hands to a great extent when the child's 16, 17, 18 years old. It's the same thing. So much of what we've seen is the pulling back of the arrow and the different forces battling for where that arrow is going to go. And now it's up. And the forces are all engaged, and 2014 is the release of the arrow. That's the best way that I can describe 2014. It is a momentous year, and we've seen incredible things happen in the last year. You notice there's a quickening politically. This happens historically at the bottom of a decadent cycle. You add into that the singularity and high-tech changes and the acceleration of knowledge, but also the acceleration of decadence. Just all these tidal forces of nature are colliding in together right now. And I don't want to hear anybody say that they are bored. Now, obviously, we've got a lot of news that I want to cover here, but I went and saw The Hobbit 2, The Desolation of Smaug. It was an excellent film, very entertaining, good for kids as well as adults. Not as good as the first Lord of the Rings, which is one of the best action-adventure, sword and sorcerer films ever, but it was definitely excellent. Smaug made the movie. Peter O'Toole, by the way, died today. We're going to be talking about that great Shakespearean actor. Just watched him about 3 weeks ago with my children that we watched over at my parents' house one night, Lawrence of Arabia. Very well done, accurate historical film. To understand the entire Middle East today, you need to watch that movie. He died. We're going to talk about that. China lands a Jade Rabbit robot rover on the moon. But I saw an ad for a new Matthew McConaughey movie coming out, the same guy that put out the last Batman, called Interstellar. And I went and looked up the secretive synopsis on it. But I was sitting there next to Rob Dew. I went with Rob Dew and my dad and my son and his kids. And I looked at him and said, that's how we should brand what we're doing to get the message across, to keep humanity moving forward. The intro to the Interstellar trailer, they're not paying me to plug this. I was going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do it today. Guys, go grab the new Interstellar trailer. It just came out yesterday. I looked last night online. It just came out yesterday. I saw it in theaters. First day it was out. And we're going to play that because it really lays it all on the table. Coming up, it's a big broadcast. I'm Alex Jones. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our immune support infusion blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great-tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas. The first reports say that President Kennedy has been seriously wounded by this shooting.
It is a big idea, a new world order.
It was almost as if it were a planned implosion. It just pancaked.
Either you were with us or you were with the terrorists.
But I also believe that a lot of gun owners would agree that AK-47s belong in the hands of soldiers, not in the hands of criminals.
Guns will be taken. No one will be able to be armed. We will take all guns.
For many of the police and guard troops, it is an uncomfortable job to do this in an American city.
Global governance at last. Is it one world? The central bankers in charge. But aren't we all just living and dying for what the central banks do?
As for me, give me liberty or give me death!
Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 15th day of December 2013 on this live Sunday worldwide broadcast. We're going to have open phones later in the hour into the second hour. We're here every Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central, back weekdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. The news websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. You can follow yours truly on Twitter at RealAlexJones. Where to begin? There is so much to go over today. Just masses of incredibly important news, and we will cover it all. But first off, I want to just mention some of the headlines that are up on Infowars.com. Media works to keep mass murder shooters' profiles secret. Again, media is working very hard to keep mass shooters' profiles a secret. We have put together, that just was published minutes ago, a breakdown of some of the modern mass shooters, detailing the fact that across the board they're Democrats, and then they share with that being Satanist or occultist, and being on psychotropic drugs and being obsessed with shoot-'em-up games. You want to profile somebody? It's that. Also, we're going to get into the Trans-Pacific Partnership that's bigger than NAFTA and GATT, bigger and more dangerous than Obamacare, is what the editor of the New American Magazine, William F. Jasper, says, and I agree with him. We're going to be breaking all of that down. I want to take you now from Infowars.com to DrudgeReport.com. I hadn't looked at Drudge in the last couple hours. I'd printed articles off there hours ago. I got here about 3 hours ago. And then I was already deciding what I was going to cover first, what was most important. And when I got to the site, lo and behold, Drudge also had separately thought that that was most important and had it as his top story. Obamacare exchange mistakenly debits bank accounts. And if you click on that, that is being reported by major television stations across the country, from Seattle to other areas. KGW reports of erroneous Washington Health Exchange debits. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to explain something to you. If you go back, and I don't have the crew or the staff to do this, many of you listen to every show or listen routinely. You know we've done countless reports on this in the last 4 years, warning you, reading the bill. You know, in the last few months, I've told you Obamacare is designed to fail. The site is being used to get your personal data, to debit your bank accounts, and to take your tax refund, and to garnish your wages. They didn't hire 17,000 new IRS agents in the bill to debit your bank accounts and your wages for nothing. And you're like, but Obama promised they wouldn't do that. If Obama says zig, you zag. If Obama says up, you go down. If he says left, you go right. I don't know how else to explain this to people. And folks wonder, you know, how we know all this stuff. I'm obsessed with this, how the world works, not with football, not with how to act cool. And I'm not putting you down if that's what you're into. You know all about football scores that can impress your buddies watching ESPN together while you get drunk. That's not going to make you successful in life. If you like to do it a few hours a week, I think that's healthy. If you do it more than that, you're mentally ill. And that's why I'm so mad at all this entertainment and Cayenne West and Justin Biebelsnap or whatever his name is. All these people, is because it steals everyone's future. We don't look to the stars. We don't admire trailblazers or scientists or researchers or firemen that go into a house and save a kid and get hurt. We admire and hold up as a sick society gladiators, and that's what you do in every culture that's getting ready to collapse. Every indicator, it's there. So that's why I talk about that so much. You know, I saw a report yesterday, Saturday, that had been on the InfoWars Nightly News that David Knight hosted, weeknight 7 o'clock, and I'd missed that TV show. I usually get home and watch it, or after it's live at 7, I'll catch it later after the kids go to bed at 9 or 10. We restream it, or you can download it at InfoWarsNews.com. And I didn't watch it Friday, so I watched it yesterday. I watched the Nightly News yesterday evening. And they came out with a company, Palantir, funded by the CIA, hooked into Google, PayPal. And it turned out in their internal documents, this came out in the Snowden documents, and David Knight in a 5-minute report breaks it all down. There it is, a cover-up of PayPal's NSA involvement. And then it goes into the Palantir. And what is a Palantir? That's what you call a crystal ball in Lord of the Rings. For at least a decade, I have called the NSA Google system a Palantir. I've probably done this 500 times or more. You can find countless videos where I liken the NSA to Mordor, to the Eye of Sauron. I told you they would use the Obamacare site to steal your bank accounts. It's now begun. Now, that's easy to know because I could read the legislation. This, I likened it to a crystal ball. Gandalf's talking to Saruman, the other wizard, and he says, you have one of these? These are dangerous. He goes, why should we be scared to use them? Because we don't know who else is looking. That's the thing. It's two-way. But when you use Google or any other Bing, any big Microsoft search engine, when you use that, it's looking back at you. And it knows everything you're looking at, everything you're doing. But it's tied in to billions of Palantirs around the world. You only have access to one Palantir. And you can do incredible things with a search engine. It is an NSA opt-in, get the mouse to jump on the mousetrap, get the bear to put his leg in it. I'm just telling you to be aware of this. And then it comes out that it gets leaked, that they call it Prism and Palantir, and liken it to a crystal ball that they're looking at you through, and basically likening themselves to Sauron. I mean, I can look at what they're doing. It's Sauron-like. I call them Sauron for more than 10 years. Then we get documents. They're calling it the exact name of what I call it. And I don't know if the chicken or the egg came first. The point is, folks, I make mistakes in things because I'm doing so much. Nobody can get all this stuff perfect. But at a deep level, I know what I'm talking about. at a deep, deep, deep level. And I'm not bragging here. I'm just saying I know this stuff is shocking that we discuss here. But I've got the Palantir that God gave me. I don't need a Google system, even though I do use it. But I realize with great danger. I can see historically and currently and in the future politically. Don't need a magic carpet, don't need a magic wand. I've got the electrochemical computer God gave me. Anybody, though, could see we're going into hardcore tyranny. I saw the head of PayPal in that same report. In fact, I want to cue this up later going on Charlie Rose. You should just trust the government and do whatever they say, like it was Britney Spears. Remember when she said, just do whatever the president tells you, shut up and submit. That's the way of freedom. They say the same thing. Then they've got Meet the Press or one of those shows on with Hayden, re-airing clips of it when I was in the coffee room earlier. And he's going, just trust us, be adult about this, and let us spy on everything you're doing. See, they've gone from, we promise we're not spying on you. Oh, you caught us. Just be adult. It's for your own safety. When we know they're predatory. It's amazing. All the big news coming up straight ahead. I'm Alex Jones. Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. We've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other toxic members of the fluoride family are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the American people. So why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We may not have been able to get fluoride out of the water supply yet, but we can help to get it out of our bodies. I am extremely excited to announce the exclusive InfoWars Life Fluoride Shield formulation, fusing 6 of the best documented ingredients from around the world to help the body remove not just toxic fluoride residues from the body, but a whole host of toxic substances. Let's take a stand against the globalists by blocking their poisons with Fluoride Shield. I use Fluoride Shield every day. Secure your Fluoride Shield and other pioneering formulations at InfoWarsLife.com today. Let's start cleansing our bodies now and support the InfoWar at the same time. That's InfoWarsLife.com. Alex Jones here, and I want to tell you about a longtime friend of the show, My Patriot Supply. As you might remember, this is the company that stood up to the DHS and exposed FEMA's secret plan to begin hoarding emergency survival food. It has always been my belief that it's key to stand behind companies who share the same values as their fellow patriots. My Patriot Supply brings us their exclusive Patriot Pantry brand, along with many other fine preparedness products. I personally store and use their high-quality products. It tastes great, and it's easy to store for up to 25 years. For a limited time, you can save $50 instantly on a 4-week supply of food, along with other special offers. Visit mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today. With the New World Order making rapid advances on every front, it is essential to prepare with My Patriot Supply today.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us on this live Sunday worldwide transmission, the 15th. Hard to believe 2014 is about to be here. You blink more than once, 2013 will be gone. All right, I have masses of budget news, world news, gun news, military news, Pope Francis news. It goes on and on. But you have to understand, a lot of people are saying, how can the government pass a health care bill written mainly by foreign banks that own foreign offshore insurance companies to double, triple, quadruple premiums, lower quality of care, take the control from patients and doctors, set up death panels? It's all admitted to be accurate now. And then we just blame Obama for it, but he stays in office, and then the bill stays in place. And Republican leaders like Boehner and others, John Boehner, do not want to reverse it. Because the same special interests that finance them finance the Democratic leadership. You've got the Republican and Democratic leadership coming after the real organic grassroots Tea Party, trying to destroy them and saying, oh, they're discredited, they're bad, but they're blocking progress, while George Herbert Walker Bush's grandson, I'm going to cover this later, in Texas, running for state government, land commissioner, George P. Bush, says he's a Ted Cruz Tea Party person and doesn't like the New World Order. Isn't that just special? Do you believe any of that? The point here is that we are the opposition to this takeover. The real libertarian constitutionalist. We are the majority of thinking people. And that's why Republican and Democratic leadership want to bring in another 30 million illegal aliens, give them driver's licenses, give them government welfare, and say your job is to vote how we say if you want a free ride. That's the social engineering plan. And if they get that, it's game over. Quite frankly, if we could get 30 million illegals in here, get them to be patriots and own guns and promote free market, I'd say do it. We need more workers in this country to compete. The problem is it's a death sentence to this nation if they basically follow a socialist collectivist ideology, and almost all the illegals do, because they get a free paycheck. They go out and work, by the way, 15 hours a day. They just get, under another name, another paycheck. That's on record. The government set it up that way. And if they get this, folks, it's game over. They will collectivize this country and the offshore corporations that run it, the corporatists. Lou Rockwell has an article out today explaining that. So does Slate magazines. Here it is. 2016 looks disturbingly good for the corporate estate with Hillary and Chris Christie, who are identical in policies. Just one looks like Jabba the Hutt, the other, the Wicked Witch of the West, rear end. And the issue here is folks are either going to figure out what's going on in this society and stop letting the establishment lead us around by the nose, or it's over. Now, getting back to this Rubicon point, crossing this threshold, that's how tyranny works. Like a parrot before it steps on a branch will test the perch. They're testing if we'll put up with them taking our guns. They're testing on MSNBC, nudging, hey, your kids belong to the state. They're testing setting up highway checkpoints and TSA infesting the airports with all this security theater while Al-Qaeda is run by our government in Syria and Libya worldwide, and they're giving them control of the whole world, basically, and Africa. I mean, it's just incredible. And if they can get away with, oh, the exchange is screwed up, 100 million people tried to sign up but couldn't, but we got your data, and we found out who doesn't have insurance, that 50-something million, And now we know who to go after your wages that you don't have it. They were identifying you. That's what it was meant to do. And then wreck the old healthcare system. And the architect of it, Rahm Emanuel's brother, Dr. Ezekiel, we played that clip probably 30 times. I'm not going to play it again. Said on Fox News Sunday 2 months ago that it's meant to wreck the healthcare system. Exactly what we told you. They've done this in other countries over and over again. It's like I have a TiVo, and I'm rewinding the Monday Night Football from last week. And I've already seen it in the play 5 times, and I'm telling you what's going to happen. You're like, oh, yeah, right, conspiracy theorist. They do the same thing in country after country. It's like instant replay. I mean, this is not my opinion, folks. You can differ on my interpretation of the data, but, man, it is naked. It's not hidden. Big corporate interests like to wreck countries and consolidate power. They're not free market. And they're the enemy of real free market and the enemy of prosperity. And, man, if we don't get that, folks, we're done. We are done. Done, done, done. And, by the way, I was told this, and it was even sent copies weeks ago, but it was so bombshell. I said on air, I guarantee you they're already taking people's bank accounts. We were already getting listeners sending us stuff and saying, and the bank tells them it's a mistake, and, oh, you'll get it back, but then they don't. So I'm going to go ahead now and go back over all those emails we've got in the last couple of weeks, and now I'll authorize Kurt Nimmo, Paul Watson, Steve Watson, Adon Salazar, and all the rest of our writers, Mikhail Thalen, Anthony Gucciardi, Kit Daniels. I will now authorize them to go ahead and go with that. It's just that we weren't sure if it was mistakes or not, but now it's clearly not mistakes. They're doing it all over the country, and we predicted they would. I mean, here it is out of KGW.com, mainstream news, Washington State. This is what they do, folks, and people are now having telemarketers call them all over the country that have been on this, and people are now getting swindled, of course. Of course, because it's a test. They can say, oh, it's broken, but keep signing up. And then they can have, you know, the Maroon 5 or whatever that idiot group is, you know, have that guy come out the sexiest, trendy, according to trendy publications, and say, I'm for Obamacare, so all the idiots go and try to sign up. I mean, this is really a joke, folks. This is all part of exploiting people. It's like Cayenne West comes out with a $130 shirt that costs $3 from Hanes and says, I'm going to show what idiots my people are and my power. They're going to pay $130 for it, and they go out and buy it. I mean, it's all about betraying you. It's all about screwing you. It's all about making a joke and pimping you and gaming you and jacking you up.
$800 in the negative.
The first thing I thought was I got screwed.
Last October, the Bruners enrolled for insurance on the Washington Health Plan Finder website. They say they selected the bill pay date to be December 24th, but instead, the Health Plan Finder drafted the $835 premium today.
You know, big knot in my gut because, you know.
And by the way, folks, it's happening through the Obamacare system as well. We're going to have that out tomorrow. But the point here is that they're seeing what you'll put up with right now. And if you act like sheep and roll over and act powerless and don't take action in different ways, speaking out against it, filing lawsuits, whatever the case is, demanding states nullify it, demand Congress repeal it. I mean, you'd think this is the most unpopular bill, an unpopular law in the last 100 years. No one denies that. It's down to less than 10% support. Congress has a 6% approval rating, and they won't repeal it. They're walking all over us. Well, our boots are made for walking on them. We're going to come back and get to the Newtown anniversary and the fear-mongering and demonization of the Second Amendment and the real profile of these mass shooters that the establishment state-run media does not want you to know. The article's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Right now, media works to keep mass shooters' profiles secret. Why does the United States spend the largest percentage of GDP in the world on healthcare? Why do we have the highest cancer rates on the planet, the highest rates of diabetes, autism, and every other major disease? It all comes down to one thing. We are what we eat. Our food is devoid of nutrition and processed with poisons and additives. Our water is filled with toxic poisons and big pharma runoff. All of this has been engineered by design. We can turn the tide against against the eugenicist by giving ourselves the nutrients our body desperately needs. To learn more, visit InfoWarsHealth.com. The site is literally packed with audio and video featuring top health professionals who don't bow down to Big Pharma. The fight against the New World Order starts with you, and you can't stand against the machine if you're sick, tired, and obese. When you visit InfoWarsHealth.com, be sure and check out the catalog with nearly 400 life-changing products and get free shipping when you sign up for AutoShip. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filters today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. We've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com. In the last 50 years, iodine has been phased out of our staple foods and replaced with the halogen bromine, a practice now banned in nations around the world. Guess what else is in the halogen family? Fluoride. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. In 1924, the federal government did the right thing and encouraged salt producers to add iodine. It's the good halogen on the periodic table, and the results are on record. Reports documented a 15-point IQ increase in areas that had previously been deficient in iodine. Bottom line, iodine is important. Unbound, clean, in a glycerin base. Nascent iodine was the answer for myself and my family. You will find Survival Shield Nascent Iodine exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWars Life Survival Shield Nascent Iodine isn't just for emergencies. I take it every day. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
You are obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
A lie. No man is obsolete.
You have no function, Mr. Wordsworth. You're an anachronism, like a ghost from another time.
I am nothing more than a reminder to you that you cannot destroy truth by burning pages.
You're a bug, Mr. Wordsworth, a crawling insect, an ugly, misformed little creature who has no purpose here, no meaning.
I am a human being.
Words, Mr. Wordsworth, that have no substance and no dimension, like air, like the wind.
I don't care. I tell you, I don't care. I'm a human being. I exist. And if I speak one thought aloud, that thought lives, even after I'm shoveled into my grave.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions that you inject into your veins to make you think you have a strength when you have no strength at all. You have nothing but spindly limbs and a dream, and the state has no use for your kind.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's Alex Jones.
is humanity's ultimate destiny? That's up to us individually, because our individual actions and dreams will lead the future course of this species. The globalists want to seize control of that individual North Star with propaganda and direct humanity, and the direction they want to direct us is towards being dumbed down biological servants, biological androids. I'm here calling for the robot zombie rebellion so that humanity actually acts like we were built in the image of our Creator and not in the image as the fallen New World Order would have us. All right, let me get into all this news because I want to have open phones coming up in the second hour today. The top story up on Infowars.com has the headline, Media Works to Keep Mass Shooter Profiles Secret. Democratic socialist and occultist make up majority of mass shooters. Now, before I get into that article and give you some of the background and the history, here's the Washington Post from yesterday. Obama marks Newtown anniversary with call for action on gun control. And, of course, that was on Friday that they marked the anniversary of the tragic event. But statistically, they didn't mark 300-plus people killed last year from wasp in the U.S., 200-plus from honeybees. They didn't dramatize that and create all the fear. No, they did it with Newtown and said, come on, ban your guns, turn your guns in. You're guilty, gun owners, for not turning your guns in. It's your fault collectively. Meanwhile, our government is funding al-Qaeda in Libya, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan. You're like, we're fighting them in Afghanistan. They're also funding them. You've got to have an excuse to be there. They're funding them in Egypt, giving them weapons, giving them TOW missiles, anti-tank missiles, giving them surface-to-air missiles to shoot down airliners if they choose. It's okay to give known al-Qaeda with al-Nusra, al-Qaeda flags, surface-to-air missiles that blow up helicopters and passenger jetliners, but you can't have a gun, even though the FBI's own numbers from 1992 to 2002, and then right through 2011, the latest numbers we have, shows a 61% overall gun crime drop. Injuries are down 51% from firearms and firearm-related crimes. Look it up. Those numbers all came out this year. They always come out a couple years late. And people say, well, you're plugging the FBI, you say, is corrupt. No, elements of it are corrupt. Modern statistics are based on J. Edgar Hoover, who was a statistician back in the 20s, who created the FBI, and they get local numbers that aren't perfect, but are as good as they get. And by the way, since 2007, 2011, the drop that's been going on since 92 accelerated. Don't believe me, just type in gun crime drops, but public thinks there's more gun crime, you'll get LA Times. I forget the exact headline, but it's like, as gun crime drops, perception is crime is up, or gun crime is up. That's because the media is brainwashing people. I mean, every cop show I see, every drama, every show, the cops find some child molester or drug dealer or horrible person, and then, oh, they have a gun, they go to jail for that. Well, yeah, because they have a gun in the commission of a crime, not because they have a gun. But, ooh, you got a gun, you're going down. People see that and believe guns are illegal. There's the LA Times. Gun crime is plunged, but Americans think it's up, says study. May 2013, May 7th. Boom. See, I got the headline almost exactly right. 51% drop in guns in the commission of crimes where there's injuries. 60+% in overall gun crime being down. But you'd watch the news, folks, and you'd think there were gun owners swinging from chandeliers killing everyone. The truth is the mass shooters all pick victim disarmament zones, federal buildings, military bases where they don't let troops have guns. They don't trust them. Public schools, disarmed colleges, airports. This is where, in literally 90+% of the cases, they are Democrat, socialist, devil worshipers who are also into video games, shoot-'em-up games, and on drugs. Not a good mix. You know, if I live next to devil worshipers and they told me they were devil worshipers and were strutting in and out of their house with guns, I would move. I would move. I've had bad neighbors before. Not like that, but I've had bad neighbors before. I didn't even have a cat, and this woman would come over. I lived over in South Austin. She'd say, your cat is going to the bathroom in my flower bed. And I'm going to basically call CPS on you, on your kids, if you don't clean it up. And I'd say, call CPS? What's that have to do with the cat? Just watch your butt, buddy. And I submitted to her. I said, it's not mine, but I'm going to submit to you just as a smart way. No one to hold them, no one to fold them. I would go and remove it when I put the for sale sign up. Didn't have a cat, and would just look at this old demonic woman who told me, I hate your show, I hate you, some kind of socialist. And I took the high road because I couldn't move out. I didn't want to deal with the false charges. She wanted petty power, and usually I'll fight back against anybody, but sometimes you have to learn to submit. And I would go and wash her feet, basically, Christ-like, clean up, I don't know, probably 10 times. She'd come over and tell my wife, come clean up your cat's crap. She'd go, we don't have a cat. You liar, you liar. You know all those mentally ill people. That's why I now live on 9 acres and talk to no one. But they want to get rid of that. They want to have me right next to people in cookie cutters, next to all the screwed up scum they've created. Side issue, excuse me. Now, that's a true story, by the way. That's a true story I just told you. This creepy woman, man, and her state employee husband. They were like 75, but he still worked for the state. And I mean, boy, they said, you're the Alex Jones on TV and radio? And they just started making crap up. We lived there about a year before they figured out who I was. And boy, when that happened, living hell began. They were going to make me the bad man. They were going to demonize me. They were going to do any, I'd look through the fence and see them looking at me. But I'd be in the backyard playing with my kids. Total creep bags. And of course, they were state employees. But side issue. Let me get back into this stuff I was talking about here with you. I'm not saying all state employees are bad. A lot of them are listeners. You know what I'm talking about. The point is they were state employees. She was retired. He wasn't. He was with the highway department. They might be listening if they're not dead yet. That was about 6-7 years ago. So Obama makes his remarks. And then here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have the article right here. Media works to keep mass shooters' profiles secret. An undeniable pattern has continued to emerge in light of mass shootings, despite the media's attempt to avoid connecting the dots. In the wake of recent high-profile shootings, the media can almost immediately be seen attempting to link deranged shooters with political right. As facts come in, the desire to connect shooters to the political ideologies quickly erodes as the same antidepressant talking left-wing occultist profile emerges. The 2011 Arizona shooter, registered Democrat, devil worshiper with a satanic shrine in his backyard on psychotropic drugs. Boom. Dressed like the Grim Reaper. And I'm not knocking goths, because most goths are nice people. But, I mean, it is a subgroup of goths that are into this. Despite every one of them's a goth. Harris Klebold, Kip Kinkle, Adam Lanza. Just, I mean, it's just about 90% of the time they're a goth. Despite initial reports attempting to paint the same picture, information now shows that last week's shooter in Colorado, Carl Halverson, was a devoted Democrat, socialist, and, of course, we'll tell you the rest when we come back. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our Immune Support Infusion Blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great-tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com. The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other toxic members of the fluoride family are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the American people. So why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We may not have been able to get fluoride out of the water supply yet, but we can help to get it out of our bodies. I am extremely excited to announce the exclusive InfoWars Life Fluoride Shield formulation formulation, fusing 6 of the best documented ingredients from around the world to help the body remove not just toxic fluoride residues from the body, but a whole host of toxic substances. Let's take a stand against the globalists by blocking their poisons with Fluoride Shield. I use Fluoride Shield every day. Secure your Fluoride Shield and other pioneering formulations at InfoWarsLife.com today. Let's start cleansing our bodies now and support the InfoWar at the same time. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
Strategic relocation is a systematic way to think strategically in the future about how do I safeguard.
Renowned author and expert Joel Skousen.
The U.S. isn't building huge underground bases and bunkers because of some terrorist threat. They know that a massive nuclear attack is coming. They want that attack to come.
Joel Skousen is renowned as one of the world's foremost experts in strategic relocation and the securing of your home.
What I tell people is that you do have time. We talk about natural disasters, the health environment. We talk about pollution, the water quality. My personal experience about being in every one of these states, most people won't even be ready and won't be able to get out of town because there'll be absolute panic.
There is no preparedness without strategy. This Christmas, give the gift of preparedness. Strategic Relocation, the film, with Joel Skousen and Alex Jones. Available only at InfoWarsShop.com or by calling 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here, and I want to tell you about a longtime friend of the show, My Patriot Supply. As you might remember, this is the company that stood up to the DHS and exposed FEMA's secret plan to begin hoarding emergency survival food. It has always been my belief that it's key to stand behind companies who share the same values as their fellow patriots. My Patriot Supply brings us their exclusive Patriot Pantry brand, along with many other fine preparedness products. I personally store and use their high-quality products. It tastes great, and it's easy to store for up to 25 years. For a limited time, you can save $50 instantly on a 4-week supply of food, along with other special offers. Visit mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today. With the New World Order making rapid advances on every front, it is essential to prepare with My Patriot Supply today.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
We're opening the phones up in the next hour. I'd love to hear from you, first-time callers, yet again, on any subject you want to discuss. As long as you got a good telephone, we're not going to screen your call, as long as it sounds bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and crackly. No, I'm joking. 877-789-ALEX, 877-789-2539. If you disagree with me and love tyranny, you're welcome to the front of the line as well. 877-789-2539. We have a lot of original, amazing callers. We have a lot of really idiot callers who sound like they're drinking cough syrup. We have a lot of in-between callers because we don't screen your calls. So again, that number, 877-789-2539. Now, some days I say I want to hear from firefighters on this subject or active duty, or I want to hear from doctors on Obamacare, or nurses, or I want to hear from the visually impaired about a piece of legislation. Then we screen calls by topic. But other times, I'd say 95% of the time, we don't screen your calls. So I want to hear from you coming up in the next hour. So you've got 50+% drop in guns being used in crimes violently. You've got 60+% drop in guns being used in crime, period. We showed those numbers. If you're a radio listener, you can watch at InfoWars.com/show, actually see the feed and see all the graphs and documents we're showing you. And then, meanwhile, I saw an article by Kurt Nimmo, and then I followed it over to the Denver Post, and then I learned that they later removed it out of their article, and the police removed it. Colorado shooter, opinionated socialist, and Keynesian, that means centralized economic planner who claims they're free market but isn't. Where the government basically controls the economy. But don't expect Mark Potok at MSNBC to talk about how yet another, quote, devout socialist democratic liberal who didn't like people debating with him. It turns out, this is out today, conservatives on the speech team, he wanted to shoot the conservatives. We've now confirmed there were conservatives on the team. I did this right before the show. I should have called Watson or Thalen or Nimmo or somebody that's working on the weekend because I just forgot, even before the show, it actually showed the teacher and the librarian and the students he wanted to go after, and I went and looked and searched their names. This is breaking for media out there, and guess what? They were Republicans and libertarians. So a devoted socialist Democrat wanted to shotgun Republicans and libertarians. Now, by the time MSNBC's done, they'll say, an Alex Jones listener, that's what they usually say, literally, you've heard them, you know, tried to kill precious godlike Democrats. And again, I'm not even a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a constitutionalist. But the Republicans at least pay lip service to the Republic. Democrats openly want to get rid of it. So I forgot that little tidbit in research. He was going to kill people for their speech. And, of course, you know what a communist is. A socialist that's willing to pick up an AK-47 and go after their political enemies. That's all they are. That's what it always turns into. So the real story is Democratic socialists wanted to kill people for their speech. Wow, there's the headline. Because it says he was mad about a disagreement with people in speech class, and then I went and looked up who he wanted to kill. Too bad he only got to fire shotgun pellets into him like a good commie. He didn't know he should have had slugs or double-aught buck. Thank God these people can't shoot straight. And he wanted to go kill conservatives, the picture is emerging. That's the problem as a news hound, obsessed with this 7 days a week, literally every waking moment. I can be bouncing one of my daughters on my knee when they were little. I'd be sitting there reading an article. I can't help it. You're either in the game or you're not. And I just remembered that, oh, I discovered by off the names of who he wanted to kill that they're Republicans and libertarians. And then it says he wanted to kill the people that disagreed with him. He's a Democrat socialist. He wants to kill them. You think that's newsworthy? Democrats are now trying to kill people they disagree with. And he probably thought, oh, good, and I'll use a gun. They'll take guns while I'm at it. That's how I win the debate. I'll just do this. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is why in fact, I got to call my writers right now. Folks, I know it's plugged in out there. Bring me my phone. I got to call Watson. I know it's like 12 o'clock at night over in England or 11 o'clock at night, or I got to call Gucciardi, or I got to call Mikhail Thalen, or I got to call Kurt Nimmo because literally this is international news. Yeah, bring it on. Oh, wait, Kit Daniels is here. Kit, listen, I went and searched the name of the librarian and the name of the people. You can go find the speech team. And I did it right before air and then got distracted with other stuff and some management stuff I was doing here about the launch of the new TV show and stuff. And I forgot because I was meeting with Dew. If you go search the debate team at that school and the name of the librarian and the teacher in them, I found the folks on there as they were having socialist versus conservative debates. It says in the article, in fact, let me give you the article right here. You find it right here. That, where is it? That he wanted to, it's the picture with a young woman. Here it is. This is out of a Wall Street Journal. That he wanted to go after them because of the speech debate. We've got them. This is literally hardcore commies trying to kill people they disagree with. And that's the revolutionary struggle. That's what they're going to do as soon as they get our guns. The cowards can take us out one by one. Oh, here it is. Walmart employee arrested for shooting coworker's car over awards. See, it's all about getting... That's why we need our guns, is to protect ourselves from these scumbags. So listen, here's the stack of articles. I know you've been working already all day. Or when did you come in? Why are you here? Oh, good job. Well, listen, I don't want to give you this assignment because you already worked 5 days this week. I know you're not a commie. You like to work. Do you want to do this, or should I call somebody else? You want to look into it? I mean, you could just go with the headline, Democrat-targeted conservatives on speech team you disagree with, something like that. I'm telling you, I found it. I went and found it. And he said he wanted to go after people on the speech team, so here it is. It's pretty big. But listen, there's no pressure. I will literally call one of the other guys that wants to do it. You want to do it? Oh, you're working on a magazine article. What's the magazine article about? Obama being a dictator? Yeah. All right, well, don't worry about it then. You know what? I'll take care of it. We'll just think about it and we'll see what happens. Doesn't matter. A lot of media is listening already. All I care about is the story gets out. Thank you very much. All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'd forgotten about that. A lot of times I'll think of something, and then when I get back to the stack later or after the show, I get so mad because I've got all these stacks. Document cam, please, from the high shot for TV viewers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 stacks of news here, and I've covered 2 stacks of 16. And if you want to know why I'm so angry and wound up, ladies and gentlemen, I do all this research, and then I get in here, and I'm pretty angry. You know, I'm pretty angry that 4 hours ago I was reading that this person was a Democrat that wanted to kill the conservatives on the debate team. And that's buried in the news article, and it should be international headlines. Meanwhile, gun owners, you and I, the bedrock of this country, one of the few countries where people haven't been disarmed, we're being blamed for another school shooting. And it's not like it's just this one dirtbag. Almost every time, whether it's Son of Sam or Kip Kinkle or Harrison Kleinbold, 5 miles from this latest shooting, or Adam Lanza, it's devil-worshipping goths on serotonin reuptake inhibitors that play shoot-'em-up games that love the Democratic Party when they're not out at their satanic coven. And, listen, can I have guns to protect myself from the devil worshippers, from the socialists, from the commies? I mean, the commies killed over 200 million people in the last century. The fascists only killed like 50 million. Of the 260-plus million the University of Hawaii put out in a democide report 2 years ago, of the 260-plus non-military combatants killed, men, women, and children, you name it, by government, 206 million were killed by commies. Communists are the enemy. Communists are the problem. Communists are the issue. And I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. I'm tired of them. And you're not going to get my guns, you trash. Get that through your walnut brain. I am sick of it. I'm a liberal, like Thomas Jefferson. I want property rights, family rights, gun rights, religious rights. You can do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt somebody else. I want drugs decriminalized. If you want to come here on a worker visa and you've got skills like Switzerland, come on in here. You don't have skills and you want to come vote to take my guns, go straight to hell. That's what I'm for. I'm for free association and freedom and not being a slave. And government takes one way or another 60+% of what I make, state, federal, local, and I think I'm paying enough. I think 60-something%'s enough. We don't need 100% taxation like France has got to abolish the middle class. Man, I just got wound up. Coming up, we've got my review of Interstellar. Long before it comes out, I'm going to give you my take on interstellar travel. And because I saw the trailer and it evokes the archetype of everything I stand for. And then we're going to get into a new drug that's basically a methamphetamine they're trying to push on workers in America. We've got a bunch of other news on the war, the economy, bozo care, rape care. It's all up on Infowars.com. Your phone calls and so much more. Straight ahead, the second hour. What can you do? You can speak up. You can say no. Don't bend over. Don't lay down. A nation of sheep will be ruled by wolves. What will a nation of patriots be ruled by? Liberty and justice. Tell your friends and family. Tune in now to the AM and FM stations you're listening to. Tune in now to the second hour. My friends, Alex Jones here to tell you about some of the most important information concerning you and your family's health. Radiation levels have more than doubled in the last 60 years in the Northern Hemisphere from all of the nuclear testing and radiological accidents. Radioactive contamination is now in most of the food supply. There's only 2 ways to avoid this. Move south of the equator or properly protect your thyroid with Nascent Iodine. Looking to protect my family, I've done deep research. Nascent Iodine is the purest, cleanest, absolute best form of iodine to protect yourself and your family. It's made right here in the USA, completely non-GMO. I searched out the best quality and now have developed a double-strength form of Nascent Iodine, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Nascent Iodine is on record as one of the only safe ways to detox from fluoride poisoning. Survival Shield Nascent Iodine. Secure your super high-quality Nascent Iodine today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filters today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. You know who is seen as the greatest political leader in the world right now? It's Pope Francis. Do you know who's seen as number 3? Ted Cruz. That shows how powerful the Tea Party ideology is against a solid wall of Marxist-Leninist BS funded by big mega banks who want to bankrupt everybody and make us dependent. Now, I've got an amazing video that I was going to air Friday that we never got to that's coming up, and we've also got the new Vigil ad that I was just mentioning, and then we've got Interstellar that I want to talk about coming up. I'm going to air part of that trailer here, Matthew McConaughey's new film coming out. I've got the IMDb over here, and then we'll just take nothing but calls for the balance of the transmission. But right now, speaking of calls, let's go ahead and go to your calls. Noel. I don't know. Noel is kind of a Christmas term. Maybe that should be banned as offensive. They're banning nativity scenes all over the country right now and threatening to arrest people who won't bake gay and lesbian birthday cakes. So, and again, I'm not against gay and lesbian people, but I think folks should be allowed to not bake them birthday cakes if they want to. Sorry, Noel, I didn't mean to add all these non sequiturs to the start of your talk. Go ahead.
Absolutely, Alex. And, you know, for just the purposes of this broadcast, let's just say, you know, bleep. So we don't get in trouble or we don't get the show shut down.
Exactly. So we're talking to Bleep from Chicago right now.
Yeah, Alex. So listen, I'm a first-time caller. I've been listening to the show a couple of years. I subscribed to InfoWars, Prison Planet TV, I mean. And, you know, I've heard several other broadcasts recently, and I've just been paying so much more attention to things that are going on in the world. And I just, first off, want to thank you. You are actually one of the people that got me to wake up and start understanding some of the things that, you know, this society hides from us and some of the things we've been living under. You know, more than 10 years ago, around 2001, I first heard you on your broadcast over 9/11, and I, to be honest, thought you were a racist liar. And
why would I be a racist liar if I said that criminal elements of the government staged 9/11? Just because the media says anybody that disagrees with the government story is a racist.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I understand that. I'm talking about back then.
No, I know. I'm asking back then, why did you think that?
Well, I was in 2001. You know, I was pretty much just out of high school. I graduated in 99, very young. All I remember definitely was just seeing all of the propaganda on TV always about things, and, you know, the outrage in which you presented the information back then to me just made it seem like, hey, this is just another nut. These guys coming up with these things that the government's out to hurt us, and, you know, that illegals are bad, and all these other things. And to me, that's what it seemed at that point, Alex.
No, I understand. And, you know, it's sad because all these other countries are collapsing. You want to help people. It's that they're being used. And so that's what's so frustrating.
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah. But now we can really see where it's going, and we know the master plan. And the good news is, I mean, I'll be honest, let's talk about Mexico. Mexico's such a beautiful, such a rich country, culturally, economically. That's the kind of place I'd like to retire, is in Mexico. It's not that I want to block the borders to keep brown people from being up here. I like everybody. I love everything from Mexico, basically. I like the people, I like the food. I don't like the corrupt government, and I don't like our government using all of that to take my liberty. So God bless you. Good to hear from you. Great points, Noel. JT Coyote, or Coyote, depending on how you pronounce it. Guess that's racist against dogs. And we're going to talk to you, Betty, Caroline, Andrew, Dr. V, Marilyn, Chris, Steve, John, and many others. Your calls are coming up. But first, my review of Interstellar, the trailer, straight ahead. Stay with us. The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other toxic members of the fluoride family are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the American people. So why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We may not have been able to get fluoride out of the water supply yet, but we can help to get it out of our bodies. I am extremely excited to announce the exclusive InfoWars Life Fluoride Shield formulation, fusing 6 of the best documented ingredients from around the world to help the body remove not just toxic fluoride residues from the body, but a whole host of toxic substances. Let's take a stand against the globalists by blocking their poisons with Fluoride Shield. I use Fluoride Shield every day. Secure your Fluoride Shield and other pioneering formulations at InfoWarsLife.com today. Let's start cleansing our bodies now and support the Info War at the same time. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
When you grab and dance with your friends, what's good for you?
KLN, Los Angeles. Clone Radio. We play the songs that sound more like everyone else than anyone else.
Interstellar.
Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. The Republic will rise again when you attempt to take our guns.
I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man.
The answer to 1984 is 1776. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
All right, your phone calls are coming up as promised. You know, I told you weeks ago that whole PR push by the Bilderberg Group member Charlie Rose and CBS 60 Minutes was to promote the word Amazon during the Christmas season for sales. Those drones are not feasible. But robot cars, robot 18-wheelers, robots replacing humans at factories, it's already begun completely in some factories in China. The Financial Times reports Google's racing robots gives Amazon drones a run for their money and admits that Google just bought 4 major global robot companies this week, including Boston Dynamics. So talk about rise of Skynet. That's it. We're going to be breaking it down. And the reason I cover that first is this. I'm all for progress. I'm all for technology, but technology is neutral, at least until it becomes artificially aware, cognizant, and independent. There's a debate whether that's possible or not. I believe it's possible upon a fashion. At least it will be autonomous. We already have drones that are autonomous, like the Tyrannus that the British government has, but that means the Gaelic Tyrannus, not our Tyrannus. Of course, they named it Tyrannus for a reason. It's a double meaning. Not terrible, but I think blessed by God, I think is what it means in the Gaelic, or chosen by God. And they're coming out with all of these systems so the elite don't need humans, soldiers that can refuse orders. It's simply programmed machines that will follow their orders. And if you read what Ray Kurzweil, the head of Google Technology Development and Futurism, says, if you read what all the ruling elite believe, they have basically said they're done with humanity. Humanity's ugly, stunted, and over. They're going to basically set up a police state, have an organized depopulation, reduction of the scourge that is humanity, in their words, and then they will merge with the machines, become gods, and blast off to Alpha Centauris. That's why they've ended the human space program that you know of, the public one. That's why they're getting rid of it. That's why they're criticizing it. That's why they demonize trailblazers. They trailblaze only when it comes to new forms of human control. They are conquering the great human mass. They are conquering the human psyche. They are conquering the human mind. That's what the technocratic control freaks are up to. They don't want to empower humanity and boost humanity towards the stars. Everything they do is Common Core, which is also taught under other names all over the world. 2 + 2 = 5. And if you want to judge a ruling class, a ruling elite, if they teach their younglings that 2 + 2 = 5, when it equals 4, ladies and gentlemen, that's an act of heresy, I understand. If they can get away with that, they can get away with anything. When O'Brien is torturing the Ministry of Truth propagandist from the media, from the state-run media, Winston Smith, in 1984, Winston says 2 + 2 = 4. The ability to be free is to simply say 2 + 2 = 4. And O'Brien says that is freedom. And when I'm done smashing your mind through torture and brainwashing, you're going to think 2 + 2 = whatever I say it is. It'll equal 5 one minute, 10 another, 4 the next. And in the end, Winston Smith believes 2 + 2 = 5. Now, do you think there's any mistake that starting this year, they teach first graders and second graders nationwide that 2 + 2 = 5? They are throwing the gauntlet down and saying, we're going to teach you that the state's your mommy. We're going to teach you that 10-year-olds can have state abortions and not tell mommy. We're going to teach you there's no parental rights. We're going to do whatever we want. They're not going to stop with the TSA sticking their hands down your pants, grabbing your genitals. They're not going to stop taking your bank accounts with bailouts. They're not going to stop. The level of tyranny under which you will live under, to quote Thomas Jefferson, is the level you'll put up with. You want to know why this is happening? Look in the mirror. You are unleashing every control freak sicko by laying down to them. You are the problem. I am the problem. A nation of sheep will be ruled by demonic wolves. Thomas Jefferson. He said wolves. I have the demonic part. And there is this demonization of loving humanity, this attack on anyone beautiful, this attack on anyone smart, the attack on any trailblazer, any rugged individualist, any creator. Because the technocrats have stolen the whole economy through fiat currency, through derivatives. They control it, as Karl Rove said, by being history's actors. Whatever they say, whether it's true or not, is reality. The media reports it. We accept it. So they're trying to become gods, where it isn't about what they actually built or did or what they stood for or being honorable. It's about them controlling the giant machinery of high-tech civilization we, the little people, built so that these control freaks who desired the power could play God. That is the big ultimate secret. And then I go see The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, excellent film for the children as well as the adults. Wouldn't take anybody under about 8 to it. I see the ad for Matthew McConaughey, one of Texas's favorite sons, great actor. I see, discovered by Rick Linklater, my friend, side issue, I see the ad for Interstellar. And you'll notice everything they say in this trailer is what I've said. They've told us we can't trailblaze. They've told us we can't go anywhere. They've told us we're over. They've told us it's done. Well, yeah, if Kanye West, and the NFL and all this petty stuff meant to distract us from the stars, distract us from poetry, literature, expanding human consciousness, if we focus on the shiny bauble, it's the end of us. But here is the trailer for Interstellar, where they, it's a science fiction, a group of explorers make use of a newly discovered wormhole to surpass the limitations of human space travel to conquer the vast distances involved in interstellar voyage. This is all possible. We need to say humans will be part of the future. Humans, we're going to write ourselves into the script. We're not going to let the globalists write us out of it in a foregone conclusion. A self-fulfilling prophecy of fraud. Here is Interstellar. Images of cornfields, narrated for radio.
We've always defined ourselves by the ability to overcome the impossible. And we count these moments.
The first ever to fly faster than the speed of sound.
These moments when we dared to aim higher.
That's right. They hate that.
To break barriers.
The nanny state wants to stop
to reach
that.
For the stars.
All to stop us.
To make the unknown known.
The elite have already controlled things. Now they don't want us to have a part in it. They want us to think down. Think small.
These moments as our proudest achievements.
Having fired the imagination.
Chose Atlantis. Folks, we went to the moon. We went beyond the moon. They don't want us to be part of this.
Or perhaps we've just forgotten that we are still pioneers, that we've barely begun.
That's right.
Our greatest accomplishments cannot be behind us.
That's right.
Because our destiny lies above us.
That's right. Our long march to our ultimate destiny, as I said in my film, my documentary, Fall of the Republic. 1 year from now, Interstellar is coming out by the amazing director, Christopher Nolan. This is the type of message we need. This movie will be a huge hit, just like Superman, Man of Steel. It's had a positive, pro-human message. It's time for all of us to say we're done with the control freaks that want to control the future, wall us off from it, and hog it all for themselves because they already want to play God. No, we want to go to the stars. We want to advance. Stop dumbing us down. 2 + 2 = 4. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist for saying it, Obama. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our Immune Support Infusion Blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great-tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com. In the last 50 years, iodine has been phased out of our staple foods and replaced with the halogen bromine, a practice now banned in nations around the world. Guess what else is in the halogen family? Fluoride. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. In 1924, the federal government did the right thing and encouraged salt producers to add iodine. It's the good halogen on the periodic table, and the results are on record, reports documented. A 15-point IQ increase in areas that had previously been deficient in iodine. Bottom line, iodine is important. Unbound, clean, in a glycerin base. Nascent iodine was the answer for myself and my family. You will find Survival Shield Nascent Iodine exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWars Life Survival Shield Nascent Iodine isn't just for emergencies. I take it every day. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. We've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filters today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
We've got it. This transmission is coming to you.
Waging war on corruption.
All right, you are go.
It's Alex Jones, coming to you live from the front lines of the InfoWar.
We see the Earth. You've got it. We see the Earth.
Well, Bloomberg, who has armed bodyguards, more than 15 of them, we videotaped it, blast the arrogance of power and pledges $25 million of his own money to disarm the American people and complete our journey to slavery. By the way, the globalists have said they're ending manned space travel. They're going to merge with machines. They believe they're done with us. And again, we should design the future where humanity has its integrity going forward. If you choose to end your humanity merging with machines, that's your right. But undoubtedly, it's going to create a new struggle. And they've already branded it to where you must accept their system of transhumanism. Every technology they've given us that our tax money's developed has been used as a Trojan horse to dehumanize us. So there should be a larger debate about this. It's almost as important as the cults versus the Texas tyrants or the Texans today. Of course, it's about 1 billion times more important. Let's go to your phone calls. JT, Betty, Carolyn, Andrew, Dr. V, Marilyn, Chris, John, Mike. I'll get to all of you. JT, you're on the air from Colorado. You're on the air. What do you think of the fact this guy wanted to go shoot the conservatives on the debate team, and it's buried in the news, but that's not ever going to be heard, I guess?
Well, I think it's kind of indicative of, the duopoly, our whole false paradigm. And the problem is that, the quote-unquote liberals...
the authoritarian, frothing control freaks that shoot the debate team with shotguns? Yeah, liberals, yeah.
Yeah, you know those guys. Not the Jefferson classical liberals. The kids aren't disciplined or controlled. And when they don't win, they go grab a gun.
That's right, because they're not allowed to ever learn to lose at dodgeball. So when they finally lose in debate, they go shoot people with shotguns. You need to learn how to lose a lot. I mean, what's that line from the Aerosmith? You've got to lose to learn how to win. Can we come back with that in the next segment? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly correct, man. If you don't learn how to be a good loser, you'll never be a good winner.
Listen, I'm not a guy that gets into physical fights because I know how to avoid them, but when some big guy starts a fight with me, I'm not scared. I've already been in about 200 of them. I've got to learn how to lose and know how to win. And it's the same deal. These people are so scared. Instead of they banned fistfights in school, so now people just shoot each other. It's totally cowardly.
And it's insane because, it's like that overwhelming power of force. And you see it coming down from Washington every day.
That's right. He had to be right. And they admit, the local sheriff's department said he was mad at the debate team. I went and looked them up. They were libertarians and conservatives. He went and found one and shot him, didn't kill him. And imagine, I disagree with the debate team. I'm a socialist. I'm going to shoot you. God bless you. Good to hear from you, brother. Let's talk to Caroline in Panama. That's down in Central America, folks. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. I'm calling to suggest that you interview Mike Maloney of goldsilver.com. He has a really good program explaining economics to people like me, the layman, and that you understand clearly how the economy's working and how to protect yourself. And also,
you know, I'm actually familiar with him. He might be a good guest. Maybe I'll get him on. What else is on your mind? What do you think of a Democrat, quote, avowed socialist going and trying to kill the debate team because they didn't agree with him?
Well, it's sick.
Should we turn our guns into him? Because he was for banning guns as well. Well, we should give our guns to him so he can shotgun us in the head, right?
Yeah, that's what they say. I mean,
no, that's how communism works. You turn your guns in, then they come kill you. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I'm kind of against that sort of thing myself.
Well, it's like Saving Private Ryan when the guy says, hey, let's be friends, and then stabs him. God bless you, ma'am. Yeah. Good. Anything else?
No, I just, I love you. You speak to my heart, Alex.
Well, you're a sweetheart. You speak to my heart. What's going on down there in Panama? I hear that's pretty up in the hills if you're not down in the basin.
Oh, it is. It's beautiful. But you know something? I watch the food down here, and there's fluoride in the water. There's in the food. The Americans, they made a deal with Panama that they don't check the food when it comes in here. I guess the man in the head of the department where they... Yeah,
that's under the trade agreements. Well, here's the good news. You can search this and look it up. Fertility has dropped in Europe, the United States, and Japan. Everywhere that puts fluoride in the water and takes the shots, Latin America's fertility is now plunging. And, of course, it's because of the fluoride in the shots on record. But, see, I'm a racist. I don't want Hispanics and Latinos to be sterilized. That's why I'm saying don't drink the fluoride, don't take the Gardasil. It's because I'm against Hispanics that I don't want them to all die. I appreciate your call. Yeah, I saw a number just 2 weeks ago. My dad showed it to me in the Wall Street Journal. Plunging fertility in Latin America. Yeah, keep taking those shots. You're not going to have any poquitos any soon. You're not going to have any little babies soon when they're done with you. You'll be absolutely sterile with HIV. Let's talk to Andrew in Illinois. Andrew, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Nice show, Alex. I was researching CIA Al-Qaeda, and I typed in CIA-Q by mistake, and it comes into the Federal Interagency Committee on Indoor Air Quality, and Department of Defense, United States Information Agency, and Department of Army, all those alphabets come up. It's a very interesting members list. Also, people should watch Torchwood, because it tells all about the FEMA camps and what they intend to do with the weak and sick, is to torch them.
Well, the Civilian Inmate Labor Camp Program, declassified in 1998, and the Emergency Centers Establishment Act, declassified 3 years ago, tell us everything. Everything. It's all public, but people don't want to admit it, even as Obamacare now takes money out of the bank accounts of those that signed up on the exchange. It's now official, mainstream news. But it's okay. Look, I'm more bad because I'm right. You understand? You're more bad, Andrew, because you're right. Have you learned that yet?
Yes, I have, and I learned one more thing. That in Nevada, it's against the law to deliberately poison food, water, and drink and medicine. And look what they're doing with fluoride, amongst other things. Bring those laws to bear, and we'll probably stop a lot of this by using local state laws.
Absolutely. We need nullification, the states to stand up, the police and military to say no, a rediscovery of liberty and private rights, private individuals, private property. It's over for globalism. It cannot exist in a system with a Bill of Rights. That's why they're attacking it. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back with Dr. V, Marilyn, Chris, John, Mike, everybody else, 800. If you want to give us a call during the week, it's 800. It's 877-789-2539 on the Sunday show, because I produce it all in-house right here. We will come back and go to your calls, and I still have a lot of news, about 10 stacks I haven't gotten to. We'll mention some of that news, get into some budget deal. Still short of votes to pass in the Senate. I've got some news here dealing with the Federal Reserve. European shares extend 2-week slide on Fed jitters. The Fed's really private European banks mainly. We've got another report here dealing with the Fed could set off year-end fireworks if they do cut the money printing and the M1 and M2 money supply. That's going to be coming up. And then, hey, the gun grabbers, their plan to get our guns backfired. Most gun laws passed since Sandy Hook have loosened restrictions. That's in guns.com. And here's another one. Gun stocks soar. Gun control dead as an issue because we stood up. When we stand up, we win. Stay with us. Alex Jones here. And I want to tell you about a longtime friend of the show, My Patriot Supply. As you might remember, this is the company that stood up to the DHS and exposed FEMA's secret plan to begin hoarding emergency survival food. It has always been my belief that it's key to stand behind companies who share the same values as their fellow patriots. My Patriot Supply brings us their exclusive Patriot Pantry brand, along with many other fine preparedness products. I personally store and use their high-quality products. It tastes great, and it's easy to store for up to 25 years. For a limited time, you can save $50 instantly on a 4-week supply of food, along with other special offers. Visit mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today. With the New World Order making rapid advances on every front, it is essential to prepare with My Patriot Supply today. Why does the United States spend the largest percentage of GDP in the world on healthcare? Why do we have the highest cancer rates on the planet, the highest rates of diabetes, autism, and every other major disease? It all comes down to one thing. We are what we eat. Our food is devoid of nutrition and processed with poisons and additives. Our water is filled with toxic poisons and big pharma runoff. All of this has been engineered by design. We can turn the tide against the eugenicist by giving ourselves the nutrients our body desperately needs. To learn more, visit InfoWarsHealth.com. The site is literally packed with audio and video featuring top health professionals who don't bow down to big pharma. The fight against the New World Order starts with you, and you can't stand against the machine if you're sick, tired, and obese. When you visit InfoWarsHealth.com, be sure and check out the catalog with nearly 400 life-changing products and get free shipping when you sign up for AutoShip. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our Immune Support Infusion Blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great-tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com. In the last 50 years, iodine has been phased out of our staple foods and replaced with the halogen bromine, a practice now banned in nations around the world. Guess what else is in the halogen family? Fluoride. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. In 1924, the federal government did the right thing and encouraged salt producers to add iodine. It's the good halogen on the periodic table, and the results are on record. Reports documented a 15-point IQ increase in areas that had previously been deficient in iodine. Bottom line, iodine is important. Unbound, clean, in a glycerin base. Nascent iodine was the answer for myself and my family. You will find Survival Shield Nascent Iodine exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWars Life Survival Shield Nascent Iodine isn't just for emergencies. I take it every day. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah. Infowars.com.
Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
A satire piece I did today at home just went up on Infowars.com. White House hires new press secretary. Just wait till you see it. It's a joke. There's another one I did Friday for the Nightly News. New Obamacare mascot announced. It's pretty funny, going viral on YouTube right now. That's all up on PrisonPlanet.com and Infowars.com. I'm going to go right back to your calls. Briefly, we're not like MSNBC, whose parent company got billions of dollars of bailout money, or MSNBC got hundreds of millions in stimulus money to pitch anti-gun, anti-family garbage, or NPR that gets around $500 million a year of your taxpayer money at gunpoint if you don't pay the taxes to preach all their anti-liberty garbage. We're funded by viewers like you. And every Christmas, we give a special gift to folks, the gift of liberty, where you can get 5+ months free when you sign up for a year to InfoWars Nightly News, to see the Nightly News, to see all the films, 18 years of material, PrisonPlanet.tv. 5 nights a week, we have the Nightly News. I host it. We've got all the reporters. And then, of course, we've got some cable systems, others that pick it up. But everybody can see it and help fund our First Amendment operation. $5.95 a month, 11 people can use the membership. It's really 11 memberships for $5.95. But if you sign up for a year, you get 5+ months free off the monthly cost. Comes to like 5.3 months free. So you're talking about a huge discount, 11 memberships for $39.95 a year. And that helps pay for the bandwidth, the cameras, the reporters, the research, all of it. So become a InfoWarsNews.com or PrisonPlanet.tv member today. Your Christmas shopping's done. Why fight the traffic? Why do it all? Go get a membership, create that username passcode that you can share that's original to the site, and then give it to friends and family. 11 people simultaneously can log in. So really, it's more than 11 memberships. 11 people can simultaneously log in. Who's going to do that? If you ever log in and you can't because 11 people are on it, thank God you've gotten 11 people to tune in at one time. Probably share it with like 100 people, and they would. So, PrisonPlanet.tv. And lastly, before we go to your calls, I've done deep research with medical doctors, nutritionists, you name it, about how I protect myself from all the Fukushima radiation that's just getting higher and higher in our hemisphere as those 5 damaged reactors continue to melt down and belch out radiation that blows right across the Pacific, direct winds into us, and so many other issues. And I found Nascent Iodine, patented. Nobody else has it. I literally just bought it out for the next several years. I'm the only person that sells it in the country. True Nascent Iodine. If you try it, you'll be blown away. What it's done for me and my family is amazing. This is the good halogen. Watch the video where I break it down. Read the medical info. Talk to your physician. It's double strength, half the price of the leading competitor that's not even real Nascent Iodine. InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. 24 hours a day. They can answer your questions, tell you about specials, take your order. But it is your purchase of the Survival Shield, the Fluoride Shield, the Chiapas High Mountain coffee from Southern Mexico. That's my personal favorite. 2 years to get the connection. We've come out with Wake Up America Patriot Blend Coffee and Immune Support Patriot Blend Coffee. Leading competitors are 40–50% more for the same Chiapan High Mountain coffee. It's like Guatemalan coffee, but better. It's my personal favorite. It's very popular. People are now drinking it. You've seen the rave reviews. People are going crazy. This is my favorite coffee. This is what I drink every day. InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. And support our local AM and FM affiliates. Support their local sponsors. Become a sponsor. Spread the word about the transmission. We're funded by listeners and viewers like you, not by tax money like MSNBC or NPR. So it is your goodwill and paying with your dollars, voting with your dollars, your war bonds that makes this possible. So I salute all of you that visit InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com. Okay, let's go to your calls. Let's move quick. Who's up next, Dr. V or Andrew? Who's up next? Dr. V in Florida, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. Glad to talk with you again.
God bless you, brother.
Thank you so much for bringing in the iodine issue. I know David Brownstein. I know Joe Wallach. I've done work in the holistic medical field for 30 years. The next step is really about self-care. I don't know if you've heard or seen the documentary Escape Fire. I highly recommend it because it is a documentary about the whole medical system.
No, I haven't. But, I mean, look, the #1 killer in the U.S. is not automobiles. The federal government, the CDC admits it. It's now medical care. because not the doctors or nurses, but the government control won't let them give you the real care. We've got to learn how to take care of ourselves. You know, they burned thousands of women at the stake for getting herbs. They've always tried to stop people from learning how to protect themselves and be healthy.
This is the next step. This is the next step, to teach people self-care. This is your avenue. It is what you offer the public.
Well, by the way, all the experts from different groups told me true iodine is the key, and I cannot believe what it's done for me. I mean, it is, I've never talked like this. It is magic, folks, what it's done for my psyche, my health, my sleeping. What is your take on iodine? I mean, I didn't plan you to call in and say this.
I got to tell you, I know David Brownstein personally. I know you've talked to him.
Dr. Brownstein, yeah, medical doctor, yeah.
Absolutely, and I prescribe it to my patients unequivocally, and it is the one thing. Have you seen the huge amount of breast cancer that's out there? You know, and it's all about, you know, run for the cancer cure, run for curing breast cancer.
They don't tell women it's because they took the iodine out of the salt. Yeah, they won't tell them.
Absolutely. They don't tell it. They don't tell women that their deficiency in breast cancer is causing fibrocystic breast disease. And that's where the problem lies.
Incredible. I know. It's incredible. I mean, my wife got on this 4 months ago. True iodine, because any iodine is better than having none, but this nascent, pure, it turns blue on paper, other iodine turns black. This is the pure form of it. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. And again, the system, I later learned the elite, the federal government did the right thing in the 20s and made them put it in the salt, but then pulled it out in the 60s. Why do you think that is?
Well, because there was something called the goiter belt that existed in the Midwest, which included Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and there's no naturally occurring iodine in that soil. So they did it simply for the reduction of goiter.
That's right, and people can search this. 15-point IQ increase within 2 years once they put iodine in the salt, and then they took it out again. Incredible. God bless you, sir. Yeah, I didn't mean to go off into that. Was not planned to have that guy call in and say that. It's just so incredible. And that's bound iodine that's in the gourmet salts, and bound iodine they used to put in the bread. They took it out and put bromine in it and stuff that's illegal in Europe. It's just, you get real iodine. I mean, whoa, that's all I got to say. Whoa. I mean, this is incredible. It's the opposite of fluoride. Yeah, there's Business Insider, how adding iodine to salt resulted in a decade's worth of IQ gains for the United States. Even if you don't get Survival Shield, proprietary pure nascent iodine, glowing purple, blue, like the actual crystal, no one else has that. It doesn't matter. The regular bound stuff, your body can still break it down. Just get the iodine, folks. That's all I can tell you. Life changer, game changer, game changer. Let's jam in one more. Maryland and Maryland, then I'll come back to you if you get cut off short. Go ahead.
I feel like I'm a candidate as a stooge for some kind of entrapment. My family has connections to the NSA and other intelligence agencies, and for family infighting, they've made my life hell. I'm stalked by Skynet. I'm a target for their electronic terror and harassment.
Oh, yeah. If your family's worked for the system, it's a living hell. I mean, look, you're in Maryland, man.
Shortwave are jammed. My PayPal account is sabotaged. And I just wonder, what are they going to try next?
Well, brother, all I know is there's a total war going on right now, and you just need to speak out, own it, not be afraid of it, and they'll back off. When you're intimidated by it, they go 100 times worse. But I see the craziest stuff out of Maryland I see anywhere else. God bless you. We're going to come back with more calls and more news straight ahead. Alex Jones here, and I want to tell you about a longtime friend of the show, My Patriot Supply. As you might remember, this is the company that stood up to the DHS and exposed FEMA's secret plan to begin hoarding emergency survival food. It has always been my belief that it's key to stand behind companies who share the same values as their fellow patriots. My Patriot Supply brings us their exclusive Patriot Pantry brand, along with many other fine preparedness products. I personally store and use their high-quality products. It tastes great, and it's easy to store for up to 25 years. For a limited time, you can save $50 instantly on a 4-week supply of food, along with other special offers. Visit mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today. With the New World Order making rapid advances on every front, it is essential to prepare with My Patriot Supply today. The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other toxic members of the fluoride family are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the American people. So why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We may not have been able to get fluoride out of the water supply yet, but we can help to get it out of our bodies. I am extremely excited to announce the exclusive InfoWars Life Fluoride Shield formulation, fusing 6 of the best documented ingredients from around the world to help the body remove not just toxic fluoride residues from the body, but a whole host of toxic substances. Let's take a stand against the globalists by blocking their poisons with Fluoride Shield. I use Fluoride Shield every day. Secure your Fluoride Shield and other pioneering formulations at InfoWarsLife.com today. Let's start cleansing our bodies now and support the Info War at the same time. That's InfoWarsLife.com. My friends, Alex Jones here to tell you about some of the most important information concerning you and your family's health. Radiation levels have more than doubled in the last 60 years in the Northern Hemisphere from all of the nuclear testing and radiological accidents. Radioactive contamination is now in most of the food supply. There's only 2 ways to avoid this. Move south of the equator or properly protect your thyroid with Nascent Iodine. Looking to protect my family, I've done deep research. Nascent Iodine is the purest, cleanest, absolute best form of iodine to protect yourself and your family. It's made right here in the USA, completely non-GMO. I searched out the best quality and now have developed a double-strength form of Nascent Iodine, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Nascent Iodine is on record as one of the only safe ways to detox from fluoride poisoning. Survival Shield Nascent Iodine. Secure your super high-quality Nascent Iodine today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com. Alex Jones here, and I want to tell you about a longtime friend of the show, My Patriot Supply. As you might remember, this is the company that stood up to the DHS and exposed FEMA's secret plan to begin hoarding emergency survival food. It has always been my belief that it's key to stand behind companies who share the same values as their fellow patriots. My Patriot Supply brings us their exclusive Patriot Pantry brand, along with many other fine preparedness products. I personally store and use their high-quality products. It tastes great, and it's easy to store for up to 25 years. For a limited time, you can save $50 instantly on a 4-week supply of food, along with other special offers. Visit mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today. With the New World Order making rapid advances on every front, it is essential to prepare with My Patriot Supply today.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. Thomas Jefferson. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
All right, I'm going to go back to Chris and John and Mike and Betty and a few others that are patiently holding. But I was listening to our local affiliate, 590 AM, last week, and I heard this ad. Nothing against the station, you know, your ads that come to you. And I've heard it on other stations around the country, so I thought I'd go look this up. And sure enough, I heard the ad for New Vigil. Gotta love that Orwellian name. It says it has an established safety profile. Most reported side effects were rated as mild to moderate. Common side effects of New Vigil were headaches, nausea, dizziness, and trouble sleeping. 7% of patients taking New Vigil stopped treatment due to side effects, and then it goes over the side effects. And my whole issue is America already guzzles a lot of coffee, which moderate use is good for you, heavy use is bad for you. Studies are there. But the #1 selling drink in this country is the 1 Hour Energy, or 5 Hour Energy, or whatever, those little bottles. And people are just guzzling this, not getting the nutrition they need. And now they're pushing these stimulants that the military previously used when they had to fly, 6, 7 missions a day in jet aircraft, or you only take this during emergencies. And the Pentagon backed off of this because they had so many problems with it. So I thought I would air this new Vigil piece. And when I looked it up on YouTube, somebody done a parody video. So if you're a radio listener, go to Infowars.com/show. And you can actually see the parody video that goes along with the real audio. But it's all these drug ads, not just New Vigil, where and they've had some of them here on the network I'm on. I mean, I'm not judging people that have these ads. It's just that now half the ad is what it does to you. That sounds 100. It's like, you have restless leg syndrome? Well, then take this. And then it says all these horrible things after it. So this is a real radio ad, folks. This is a real New Vigil ad airing all over the country on every station. I've heard it on San Antonio stations, Dallas stations. This is a huge ad buy. This ad's airing. And you've got to understand, folks, they wrote on the subway walls in New York in the 60s, speed kills. I mean, we all know about Breaking Bad and all this stuff. The point is, this is just becoming mainline shift disorder. Here it is.
Sound like a typical workday? Always sleepy on your shift? There may be help. If you work odd hours and feel sleepy on the job, ask your doctor about shift work disorder. New Vigil or modafinil is a prescription medicine used to improve wakefulness in adults who are very sleepy due to shift work disorder. Ask your doctor if New Vigil could help. For a free 14-day trial, visit newvigil.com. New Vigil may cause serious rash or allergic reaction that may require hospitalization and be life-threatening. If you develop rash, hives, mouth sores, blisters, swelling, peeling, yellow skin or eyes, trouble swallowing or breathing, dark urine or fever, stop New Vigil and get emergency help. New Vigil is not for children. New Vigil doesn't replace sleep, may not stop all sleepiness, and has risk of abuse or dependence. Use as directed. Common side effects are headache, nausea, dizziness, and trouble sleeping. Stop New Vigil and call your doctor for depression, anxiety, hallucinations, extreme activity, aggression, thoughts of suicide, other mental problems, chest pain, or abnormal heartbeat.
Folks, that's a real ad, and they have a TV version, too, I saw on CNN. So I'm just giving you where I heard this so you know this really aired. This is not a joke. And, I mean, I listen to talk radio. I'm flipping through the channels in my car. I hear it on XM. This ad is just running on everything you can imagine. I first heard it last week. And my thing is, the ad starts, that's like 90% of it. The ad starts, New Vigil, if you have sleep disorder, trying to stay up. And then it just goes into all the side effects that you just heard. I guess we did play the whole ad, actually. They say that first part there. My point is that this is Twilight Zone type stuff. Well, I've covered 5 of the 16 stacks. Tomorrow on the weekday show, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., I'll cover it all. Infowars.com, of course, is the news website. We got the nightly news, 7 o'clock Central, as I mentioned, weeknights. But right now, let's go back to your calls. Let's get everybody in here that's still holding. Mike in Tennessee, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, got a suggestion for a copy ad on your story, and then another citing of some information about your story you're just talking about. Going ballistic, the authoritarian solution for losing the debate.
All right, explain to me what that means.
Well, obviously, the authoritarian went ballistic when he lost the debate. That was his solution.
No, exactly. That's what they do. He lost the debate in Colorado, so he went and tried to kill the librarian, the speech teacher, and the people he was debating with.
And you tie that in with historically how authoritarians want to kill everybody because they can't control them, because ultimately it's all about control. It's, as I've told you before, when she can't have the boyfriend, nobody can have the boyfriend.
Man, you really hit the nail on the head. I didn't get what you were saying at first because it caught me off guard. No, you're right. For those that just tuned in, Colorado shooting Friday on the anniversary of the tragic events in Sandy Hook, this guy, a quote, avowed Democratic socialist, was mad at the people he was debating, so he went to kill them and was able to shoot one of them, and thank God not kill him. And that just shows that these people historically cannot put up with anyone disagreeing with them.
That's it. They can't. They flake out because it's all about control. They're so friggin' narcissistic that it's my way or no way, and that's it. And he blew his head off because that was the ultimate solution to end his problem, which was him.
God bless you. What a smart point Chris just made, or the Mike from Tennessee. Who was that from Tennessee? Mike from Tennessee. They already deleted him off the board there. Now, that's what makes me frustrated is that I've been around big Hollywood people, not just Charlie Sheen and all the others that have been on the show. And so many of them are awake, but then they're also narcissistic. And it's just crazy. I mean, it is so wild how these people operate. And Obama taking photos, selfies of himself. They're not even conscious. So the inmates who are running the asylum. Chris in Indiana, then John and Mike, and then Betty. Chris, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Ooh, you just committed a racist crime like bad as brown bags.
Yeah.
Whoa,
man,
whoa, FCC. He said Christmas. Whoa.
And my name's Chris, man. That just automatically labels me as a terrorist or a racist. Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Better do what you're told by government to prove you're not bad. What you calling about today, my friend?
Hey, all right, Alex. I'd like everyone out there, obviously, the movie with Jimmy Stewart entitled It's a Wonderful Life will be airing on, I believe, NBC on Christmas Eve like it does every year. And now people
it's an anti-bankster takeover film. People should watch it.
You're exactly right. It shows how banks really work, and really that town of Bedford Falls represents
America.
The world as a whole. Yeah, really the world as a whole.
No, you're right.
And like you said, the Bailey Building and Loan represents the countries or the regions that do not want to go along with the big bankers, which is represented by Mr. Potter.
Man, Jimmy Stewart was an incredible veteran, inventor of offshore drilling. You know that guy was one of the first billionaires?
Yeah, I did not know that. No.
Yeah, all self-made, an amazing person.
He was an amazing person, God rest his soul. And I just wanted to say that when he is given the opportunity by the angel that comes and saves him, and, you know, seeing what life would be like without him being born, because basically he takes over the Bailey Building and Loan, which represents, in turn, not being able to be monopolized.
Listen, here's the deal. We need to do a review before next week for Christmas. Maybe Christmas Day, I'll do a special broadcast, a review of It's a Wonderful Life with clips. John Bound, you want to help me do it? Watch it immediately. I've seen it 20 times, but help me. I'll shoot it. We'll have a whole hour on Christmas Day so folks can tune in, and I'll play clips of It's a Wonderful Life and talk about it. That's a great idea. God bless you, caller. God bless you, Chris. John in Virginia, go ahead. Thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Hey, buddy, how you doing today?
Pretty good, brother.
Listen, I wanted to tie in what you were talking about earlier. I read an excellent article. I'm driving down the road. I can't tell you where I read it. If you start page some of the stuff I'm going to say, you can read it. But it was about a psychologist that did a study on your average gun control advocate, not the globalist, but just your average gun control advocate. And he made the point in there that most of them have suffered from a higher than average murderous rage, and they're afraid to own guns.
Oh, no. You're right. Buzz Bissinger on Piers Morgan said he wants to kill me. And then later he said, I apologize. I'm mentally ill. I shouldn't have a gun. Well, okay, you're mentally ill. I'm not like you. I shoot somebody with a gun if they're attacking me.
Exactly. And that's what the article went on to say, is he said he found that most of your gun owners are responsible citizens that, you know, are just your average Joe that wants to protect their family.
Exactly. We're men and women that aren't screwballs, and just because the establishment's a bunch of sickos, we shouldn't turn our guns in. Great point. Sorry, buddy, I'm out of time. Great job to the crew. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, the weekday transmission. Infowars.com is where the revolution against tyranny starts. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth